Okay, even these little ones, if you had to cut extras off and you want to do them, dunk the stem.
Could you do the same thing with flour? Let me see. Same thing with flour wire. Flour wire used in gum paste flour.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, thank you for asking, because that wire is not food grade and you're wrapping it with the florist tape. Yes, I do the same same thing with
the
my
same thing,
gum
Mom.
paste flowers. Absolutely. Thank you for asking me. I was going to tell you that.
Awesome.
Yes, because they say the wire's not shoved into the cake, especially if you compete in Tulsa. No, this is too heavy, so I got to cut it down.
Okay.
Makes it food safe then. Okay.
So it's okay for the flowers to touch the cake, just not the leaves and the stems.
The stems don't matter. It's going into the cake. They're sitting
Gotcha.
on top. Okay?
And that's okay.
This part's gonna, once you cut it, that liquid that's in that stem is gonna ooze back into that cake, and this
Yeah.
stops it. And it might keep the moisture in there for the cake to keep it for the flour, so it keeps it from wilting.
Yeah.
Give it a good try.
So no oozing. We ooze be gone.
Ooze be gone. Really, this is too big. See, this is way overpowering. So we're gonna cut these off, put it back down where we want it. I want to stay within the parameter of the top of the cake. That's why I'm doing this.
So the floral tape is or is not food safe?
It's not.
Okay.
There's glue on that. When you stretch it,
Tasty.
not food grade.
Okay.
Dunk. Once you get your arrangement done, dunk it before you put it on the cake. And I'm blowing on this. Everybody says don't blow on your flowers because you're putting germs on there. I'm trying to chill that wax down for you. That's better. Little accent, not overpowering. And I could still use these because there's wax on pieces of these.
You can always redunk.
And I'm redunking. So this became a cake about flowers.
Look at that.
Okay, and there's a bald spot right there. So we're going to dunk the stems and stick it under so it's not so bare. We're going to put some of these on top just to make this fuller and prettier. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to get these out of the way.
So how many ruffles do you think this cake would take?
It's going to take about 7 more. 7 more.
7 more ruffles?
7 more ruffles.
Lots of ruffles.
Lots of ruffles.
Okay.
Just depends on how full you want it to be, how,
Yeah.
you know.
How roughly you want it.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to put this back in the fridge, which is not going to hurt the flowers.
Okay, and just roughly speaking, what would a cake like this cost?
Since it's a 1-tier cake, so you're asking me my prices now, huh?
Well, what would it cost to make, and then what would it cost to sell?
Cost to make. Cost to make. Whether you're using a cake mix, you know how you get your bargains on your cake mixes, and plus your additives and everything. If you're using from scratch, it's even cheaper because you've got that in bulk. I would say this one cost about $8 in product. Okay. Charging without the flowers, $95. With the flowers, another $10 to $15, depending where you can get your flowers. I have a florist friend that's next door to my shop, so I went in and got her, and she charged me $2 per stem for the flowers. So I paid $8 for the flowers. I'm going to take this ruffle down a little bit more. Let me get rid of this wax. That's going to recool and solidify, and then I'll use it again for another flowers at a future time. So there's never, only add more wax to it, cut pieces for it. I was going to bring the box, but I didn't get it done. Next time.
Okay, time for another question.
Another question?
If you were doing a different shape cake and you layer it all the way up, do you cut whatever shape the cake is for the top and place it over the cake to cover the top of the ruffles on the side?
Yes. I did it two different ways. I put a fondant base on the one and brought it up the side, and then I still had the flap showing, so I didn't like that. So on the two-tier cake that I did, the top one I actually laid it over. For the finishing one, I liked it better. But the lower one, on the first time I did this, the lower one had the fondant on it with the ruffle finishing off the edge. Just different look depending on if you're picky about it or not.